Are you thinking to get into real estate investing, not really sure how, however, have access to a primary residence with pretty good equity? Well, guess what? This video is going to be perfect for you, because after watching this video, I'm going to show you how you can go about using your home's equity to purchase multiple properties without having to take all the money you have in your savings account. And it's all going to begin right after this. Hi everyone, I'm Josh Tavares, investor and realtor with eXp Realty Brokerage. It'd be so great if you can help us out and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to get updates on our newly uploaded content. And if you're looking to get into passive real estate investments with a great price point, great cash flow and appreciation, click the link below, let's book an appointment and let's partner together. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, for many investors, they believe that in order to get into real estate investing, they have to have a large amount of money in their savings account, win the lottery, or have to have a big inheritance in order to invest in real estate, which is far from the truth. With having a home with very good equity and paying down the mortgage with appreciation working on your side on your property, you have the ability to build your equity, which you can use as a HELOC, a home equity line of credit that you can use as a form of a loan to purchase the property, whether it be in full or a down payment, and be able to receive a loan for the remaining amount. And I'm going to go further into details as such. Now, with using your equity, you're going to go to a lender or a mortgage broker who is going to be able to take out funds from the form of equity in your primary residence that could be used, like I mentioned, for a down payment or the full transaction of the home. And right now, rates have gone up, and HELOCs, so a home equity line of credits, tend to be more expensive at this point in time, of course, than what they were earlier in the year, let's say about March or February of 2022. However, you can probably get with a mortgage broker or the A-lender type banks, you can go about getting a really good rate at this point in time that'll be able to get you enough for at least for a down payment, depending on the market that you're investing in. Or like I was saying, if you're investing in somewhere that has a really low price point and your home has a massive amount of equity, including value, then you may be able to purchase a property in full through one loan. Now, with these home equity line of credits, HELOCs, usually how it's going to work is the most loan to value you'll be able to receive is 80-20. Now, of course, that'll depend on many factors, including your credit score, income, the price point of the property, rental income in the area, and other characteristics. Now, let's just say that the equity on the property is enough to purchase 50% of the investment property. Essentially, how it'll work is depending on your credit score and you're able to fulfill what the bank is looking for, then essentially you'll get a secondary loan in which it will cover the remaining, let's say 50%, in which you can either A, have the rental property pay for all of it and have maybe a little cash flow, or perhaps no cash flow, but have a property continue to generate value, or you would essentially pay one of those loans yourself and then have the property pay for its own primary mortgage and have at least some cash flow to offset that. And because how a HELOC works, you could actually, over time, as you continue to pay it down and your credit profile is looking well alongside with the property, you continue to get the loan that you paid down and receive in other forms through credit cards or line of credit, or the cash out refinance, not so much. Now, the cash out refinance, the bank essentially is going to write a check to you of, let's just say, $100,000, and that's essentially that, and it'll just be a mortgage in which you can do whatever you please. Where with the HELOC, it'll go towards the property, you receive the additional form of lending, and then as you continue to pay it down, you have the opportunity down the road that you can actually receive additional credit products that'll go up to the total amount that you were able to refinance through a HELOC portion. So let's just say you took out $100,000, you paid out about $50,000, and then down the road, you can actually receive that $50,000 through a different credit product, such as a line of credit or a credit card, and it can actually increase over time as your property is increasing in value. You can do a reassessment through refinance and have the opportunity to take out more funds for another investment. And the beautiful thing with this is that you can actually do this with your rental property. So now that you have a rental property, let's say 3, 4, 5 years down the road, it's increased in value, it's continued to pay down its mortgage, you have a really good equity, you can now continue to multiply what you did before up until, of course, a certain point there's a lending wall in which, of course, there'll be other creative financing solutions. You can go about expanding your portfolio, such as joint venturing or other creative strategies through other lenders like B lenders that the rates are going to be a bit higher. However, they're going to provide you options that the A lenders may potentially not take you up on. And it's really amusing that so many people have seen their properties increase hundreds of thousands, if not millions, especially here in Ontario, and they're sitting on equity and they're doing absolutely nothing with it, Or what they're doing is taking out a home equity line of credit, maybe taking $500,000 out, and they're using it towards renovating their own home just to enhance their living condition, which is fantastic for them. However, they're missing out on the opportunity to generate extra forms of income through having rental properties and building their wealth. Another thing we highly recommend, if you're going to go about doing this, that you work with a mortgage broker who works with many different lenders. We've spoken about this on many different videos, and it's really important because if you're going to go to a bank, they're just going to offer you their products and services, and they're of course not going to be able to share other institutions. Where if you're going to work with a mortgage broker, they're going to give you everything from A lenders to private lenders. And working with a mortgage broker, they're going to assess your situation and say, okay, what is the strategy? How many years? What's the best rate that we can get? And based on the credit profile of the client, what's the best that we can do that not only works for them today, but can work towards the long term? And this is a fantastic way that many investors have actually started through accessing their home equity, using it to purchase multiple properties to get them in a much better financial predicament. Because let's be honest, working a 9-to-5 with your pension and whatever savings you have or any cash flow you have at the end of the month, revenue minus expenses through your own personal job or yours and your partner's, is probably not going to be suffice given how high inflation is and where your income is going to be in the future. That's why you're having people today work longer than ever before. You have people working beyond 70 years of age because their pension's not going to be enough, they don't have enough income, and things are looking very scarce with the high cost of living that's taking place. And that's why it's more important than ever before to have things work for you, such as duplication, equity, cash flow. These are such important components that are going to help you have multiple properties, have multiple sources of income that's going to help you achieve your financial goals and actually leave your 9-to-5 much sooner. Now, I understand there's some fear that goes along with it in terms of managing your property, managing your tenants, and anything that can come with property ownership. Trust me, we have gone through tons of different concerns, whether it's tenants, maintenance. Like not that long ago, we had to change and have the roof repaired on one of our properties, and it was a pretty penny. However, that property has increased substantially. It's given us great rents. It's given us great cash flow that it was able to outweigh some of the negatives that's taken place on the property. And just like in life, there's always going to be something in place that's going to be more challenging than the day-to-day, that is going to test your character, but over time, it's going to improve you as a person and put you in a better circumstance. Now, at the time being, emotionally, it felt like it was a lot more hardship, more frustrating, but in the long term, it's actually going to be a lot more beneficial for you and your family. And as we mentioned in other videos as well, it's really important that if you're going to go about investing into real estate, you need to know the area. You don't have to manage it yourself. At the end of the day, we believe in having time back for your family and more time to invest back into other business ventures. But you want to have a really good idea what the area is doing. You need to know the economic fundamentals, and it has to be a strong area that has excellent potential in the future, because in that way, the rents will go up, your cash flow will go up, appreciation, you'll continue to have more equity in which you can go about duplicating your portfolio in a shorter period of time. That's why we highly recommend going more towards B neighborhoods than C's, because with C's, it's going to be low appreciation, low cash flow, lower rents, higher maintenance concerns, where in B neighborhoods, where you're going to have about 50% home ownership and 50% of renters, people are going to care more for the property, rents are going to go up, there's going to be more demand, the price is going to go up, and there's just more equity and more value into your portfolio as well as your property. I hope that video was super helpful, insightful, and gives you all the information needed to refinance your property and purchase multiple properties from here on out. I'm Josh Tavares, investor and realtor with eXp Realty. Remember to help us out and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to get updates on our newly uploaded content. And if you guys are looking for a great investment with a low price point, low involvement, great cash flow, great appreciation, hit the link below. Let's get on a call, let's partner together, and let's get you on your way. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.